Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you, chat managers, for your help. I appreciate it. For those who are new, if you like the channel, please subscribe and also tap on the bell in order for you to be notified when I'm online or when I post a video. I will be with you in 1 minute. I have to allow people to gather in the chat room. That's why I said, give me 1 minute. I know some people wonder why I do that. That's the reason. Hi, Ron. Hi, everyone. Okay. Today's Friday. Well, today's Thursday. Sorry. I've been complaining that time is flying and I'm saying Friday already. Sorry. Okay. I'm thinking of Saturday. That's why I'm hoping today was Friday. Anyway, I was reading a clip a little while ago about Putin and Ambassador John Huntsman is the person who he gave a talk and someone wrote an article about it. And he said that he went into Putin's office. I'm sure he has. And Putin has a whole bunch of pictures of Peter the Great. I don't know. I've heard the name. I don't remember my world history. Sorry. So in such a short period of time, because I just read it about 5 minutes ago, I didn't have a chance to really look up Peter the Great, but I'm sure he tried to do something similar as to what Putin is trying to do. But that's basically what John Huntsman was trying to say, that America has to be careful with Putin. But you know something, and as I am saying this, yes, Putin is a mass murderer, and every day he has forced us to witness his criminality. But intuitively, I feel like saying, when you are that arrogant and you think you own the world, you know, life has a nasty way of proving you wrong. Because I feel Putin right now is more vulnerable than at any time in his career as president of Russia. And he's making some major mistakes. I'm sure all of you have heard the speech he gave yesterday, because that's one thing that's flashing in front of, on my mind's eye, I should say. He's about to start something, and unfortunately for him, he announced it. His plan is basically to purge, just like they did on the time of Stalin. You know, he thinks he can get away with these things, just like he didn't think Ukraine was going to be able to put up such a stiff fight and basically winning. At this point, if you ask me, Ukraine is performing beyond expectations. But intuitively, I feel like saying he's about to make a whole slew of mistakes. And I don't feel he's going to make stupid international moves as well, because if we notice, and that's what John Huntsman said in his article. Basically, that's what John Huntsman. That's the point I feel. That's what I got from his article, or the talk that he gave, according to the article who was written about it, I think. He doesn't back down. He continues to double down, in fact. Intuitively, I feel those people, well, they are looking at it from a non-intuitive point of view. I feel like saying people around Putin are very uneasy with what's going on, what he's doing. And also, given that The Hague and Biden called him a murderer yesterday, a war criminal, basically. Okay, because Biden have told them in the past that he's a killer, and he thought that was a compliment. Yeah, right. Some people have asked me how long it's going to take to take him down. I don't think we are going to take Putin down. Well, we are doing things that are causing a lot of instability in Russia, making people around him very uncomfortable, and he's helping us in doing that as well. When you said you're going to cleanse your country, and Russians know what that means because they've been through many cleansings. The natural tendency to survival instinct is kicking in, and I don't think he understands that. He's been in that position. He thinks he's omnipotent. Yeah. And he's already putting people under house arrest, not thinking that those things, how they can backfire. Because once you start doing this, everyone around you, I mean, as far as people, I'm going to say cabinet because that's what I know. I don't know how they call, or his advisors, I'll put it this way. They are all thinking, who's next? And I read and I wasn't surprised that he was doing these things. But I feel those are the type of things that are going to take Putin down. People around him don't trust him anymore. He has become very unpredictable. And all the threats as he's making, he's willing to take certain chances, and he likes to scare people. And that's why everyone who's been around him, they think he wants to portray himself as Superman. Like I said, with the Napoleon complex. And even Medvedev, this morning I read, he said something that Russia has ways to put superpowers in their places. They attack Ukraine, trying to put Ukraine in its proper place, and that hasn't worked. They can't do it. How are they going to do that to the rest of the world? And the rest of the world is against Putin. So I know a lot of you are probably going to hear those things. Intuitively, I feel like saying they are meaningless. Medvedev's threat is just bravado. Whatever they have in their hands, they are afraid to use it because they know we can retaliate equally. So, and they are a bunch of cowards. That's why they are doing, they attack Ukraine, who's a smaller country. It's not even the match. And that's what Putin does, killing women and children. But we are putting in place the pieces that will enable the Russians to take him down. And I feel that's how he's going to go down. But it's not going to be us actively going in or do anything. No. And I feel like saying I would be surprised between June and July. If he doesn't succeed, some major attempts are not made to dethrone this guy. Because as I focus on people around him, they are terrified. Putin is terrified too, by the way. And that's why he gave that speech yesterday, ranting about, the West wants to cancel Russia. And also everything that he said was basically to threaten the West or scare, let's put it this way, scare the West. And, like I was saying yesterday, people who live in those countries, when I was in Haiti, you are in a state of mind that's very difficult to overcome and take action to free yourself from people like Putin. And even Cuba, look at, what's happening. Yes, they rise up, okay, but the time is not here yet either. That's why Cuba is still the way, things, Castro or his representatives are still running the country. But at the right time, they're just going to swat them to the side and then, take their freedom. But in the meantime, that mentality, okay, so that's what Putin is doing when he said, the country needs a cleansing. It frightens people, okay, because you feel alone. You are with your family. First of all, you are trying to figure out everything, no money. You have 2 kids or kids to feed, your family to take care of. You don't know what you're going to do. And then you got to think about, how do I get myself out? Or it prevents you from even thinking of doing anything to overthrow your oppressors. That's what Putin is trying to do as well. Because he's terrified. And the notion that he's very calculated, no. Intuitively, when I focus on Putin today, and last night I was doing it, he's someone who's cornered, and he's reacting based on emotions. So don't worry about what he's saying. I feel our government is taking him seriously, but no one is afraid. And I will tell you some more about that one day. Why Biden and people around him are not afraid. The other thing I feel like saying is we have some pretty dangerous people in this country. And I've said this before, that we're going to have to do something about it, whether we like it or not. But chances are it's going to be legal. But those truckers in Washington, D.C., ignorant people, you give them 1 inch and they take 10 feet. And if you don't swat them down, if they are doing something bad, they think it's because you are afraid or you can't. Those people who are in Washington, D.C., the trucker for whatever they call themselves against they're going to lose, by the way. Okay? And their organization will be dismantled because I don't feel it's in the up and up intuitively. And also people in that area basically are fed up with them and they will shut them down. That's my prediction. But some of them are going to have some major legal issues. That's what I feel. And Trump also, those truckers are connected to the right-wing media and Trump and all those organizations. I feel like saying I hope I'm not hoping. I'm glad those groups are infiltrated because Trump, Bannon, Flynn, Tucker Carlson, and all these people are interconnected. And yes, if they can't, just like January 6th, if they can use violence at whatever degree, because what they are doing right now, they're grooming a lot of people, priming them for violence or to do something. That's what Trump was doing this past Saturday. From what I understand, he was in North Carolina. And I was reading that. That's why I'm mentioning it. But, and also what he's trying to do, and I've said this before, but since I'm getting it again, I'm going to repeat it. Bragg, the prosecutor in New York City, backed off, or the AG, Attorney General in New York City. It's because he's terrified. If, let's say, for example, he brings a case against Trump and it doesn't work, he wants to focus on other stuff. And he's playing Trump's game, those empty threats. And that's what Trump is counting on to scare a lot of people into submission or give him what he wants. Just like Putin, it's the same thing until you step up to his face and smack him down. That's the only thing Trump understands. And I feel it's coming. And, right now there's a whole, I was watching CNN this morning. I believe his name is Jake Tapper, was saying that he was talking about Trump getting the nomination. He was talking to Kenzinger, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, about Trump getting the nomination. I don't feel that's going to happen. But just like a lot of that woman, Camarota, the other day kept on asking everybody if the whole day it was one thing, World War III. And it seems like some people are getting tired of it right now. And I feel it's the same thing with all those hosts or journalists who keep asking about Trump getting renominated or the nomination for the Republican presidential candidate. I don't think that's going to happen. I feel Trump has enough on his plate right now. And yes, I know there was a poll that came out, I believe, last week, where they compare, from Trump to Biden, and Trump was a couple of points over Biden. I'm not quite sure how they conduct those polls, but I feel Biden. In The Atlantic, they had an article, I don't know if I posted a link to it, that Biden is not getting all the credits that he deserves about the way he's been performing on the international arena and also nationally as well. Thank God he is president, and they were saying that he answered the 3 a.m. call. And I feel like saying this type of article, more will come out. That's my prediction. And people will begin to realize that how well, forget the Republican noise. They are blaming Biden for gas prices when we all know that he's not, the president of the country has no power and does not determine the price of gas. It's private business. People have to, they have companies to take care of that. We cannot set any gas policies. So I feel like saying, don't believe in that either. They're gonna, that will change. The poll numbers will get better. Okay, Susie's asking, have you since they released the mayor they kidnapped, does this mean they are not trying to kill Zelensky anymore? They did kill one mayor before they kidnapped the second one. I didn't know they killed one mayor. I believe one got, if you're talking about Ukraine, one was freed because the Ukrainian military, they mounted an offensive and they freed him. And I believe that I didn't know about, I'm sorry, but I have not heard that the other one was killed. Putin hates Zelensky. And the Ukrainian military, to this date, has killed 4 Russian generals so far. And the body bags, unfortunately, it bothers me, of young Russians. The number of young Russians being sent home in body bags is crazy. From what I heard and read, and I feel it intuitively, it's true. They are in the morgues in Belarus is overflowing they have refrigerated units, morgue outside, and all kinds of stuff. And some of them are left on the battlefield. Bodies, that is, of young 18-year-olds that Putin lied to them, and their family didn't even know where they were going. I feel like saying all those things are going to backfire on Putin. But the mayor, I don't see Zelensky being killed. And no, Putin is going to take it back. He doesn't care, because Putin knows his days are numbered. In fact, John Huntsman said the same thing too. When I read it, I remember when I first talking about when this first started. And if those of you who have been following me since the beginning, you will remember I said Putin is done. John Huntsman gave the talk, I believe, the day before yesterday, and he said the same thing. And the guy knows. So the notion that he knows he's done, the notion that he's going to change, at this point he doesn't care if Zelensky is dead or not. Let's put it this way. Okay? So, but Zelensky has a lot of friends, let's put it that way, more friends than Putin. And also tomorrow there's a meeting between Xi and Biden. Well, a video meeting. Don't expect very much. Xi is going to be non-committal, nothing major, but he's going to try to protect China's interests, which is what he's supposed to do. He's not going to jump in with the way I'm feeling him. Just like lukewarm promises, just like he's the Chinese ambassador in Ukraine basically said he likes the Ukrainian spirit. Yeah, right. And they're going to help, with food and money, and they're going to help the Ukrainians, but don't expect much more than that. Yes, she feels like intuitively when I focus on him that Putin lied to him. Putin did not tell him the extent to which he was willing to go if his plans failed, but she didn't ask either. But like I've said many times before, she has his plans where he wants to be in the world, how he wants to be viewed, just like Putin wants to be viewed as Peter the Great. I don't know yet who she wants to be like, but he has big aspirations, let's put it that way. But I don't feel he's going to get there. That's my prediction. And tomorrow, it's just going to be status quo. China trying to play both sides of the coin. He may say a little something positive because he doesn't want the Putin stench to stink him too bad. But I am not super positive. And also he's going to play in a way so that to prevent. There is one thing he doesn't want. I know he doesn't want it. something to trigger a world war. I know he doesn't want that, and too many people are focused on him. So he's going to try to do things so that we don't get into that situation, okay, and try to walk a fine line, but still give a hand to Putin. You know who I'm concerned about? India. And I've not bring them in. Yesterday or the day before yesterday, I said something to the lesser world powers, okay. I included India. If not, India is one of the first lesser world powers. I'm sure Biden doesn't trust Modi, the guy who's the president of or prime minister of India right now. Okay. Behind the scenes, they are trying to help Putin economically or establishing some kind of exchange. I consider, Modi passive aggressive. That's the way I'm getting him. And I'm not comfortable with his world view, but him too. I am sure Indians would make a decision to dispose of him at the right, meaning put someone else who will not support Russia and prolong the war between Russia and Ukraine. But by that time, these things will be over, but at least someone who's more independent, I feel. And, but anyway, there's something I was going to say. I don't think it's a smart thing to say. I'll leave it there. But that's the other person I don't trust, Moody or Moody, whatever the name is. Okay. Craig Dixon says, I understand that Bragg is scared, but in life you can't pick and choose your responsibility. That's true, especially if it's your job. Well, I don't feel he should have. He knew when he gets, if he were to get that job, he would have to do something with the Trump situation. I feel these people, if I were the governor of New York, I would have done something, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if she does, but I don't feel he belongs in that position. I never liked the guy. The minute I saw him, I didn't know anything about his policies or how he sees life or anything. The minute I saw him, I did not like him. And now it's even worse. So, but who am I? Okay. Let's see. Hi, Sandra Peterson. How are you? Okay, let's see. Ooh, somebody asked you a question. Well, I don't see it. Joel Tilson, I wish you were right. Joel Tilson says foreign money will not be allowed in future elections, period. I hope you're right. Republicans have a way, And look at what they're doing in Florida. And I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing is happening in other states, red states, and we just don't know about it. They are changing people's, it feels like to me it's happening mostly to seniors in Florida. They changed their political affiliation from, party affiliation from Democrats to Republicans. I would not be surprised. So they are doing everything. And I heard somebody is they are mentioning it, and if I'm not mistaken, they're going to try to do something about it. But intuitively, I feel like saying they are being taken, those people who are doing these things are being taken seriously. Do you guys remember, I don't remember if it was last week I said it, Ukraine he's saving, or he's going to do something, but I did not want to say what it was. I believe it was last week. And I was reading an article. I didn't post it because you wouldn't be able to see it unless, I believe it was in the New York Times or the Washington Post, if you don't have, if you don't pay. Let's put it that way. I can't think of the right word right now, but you know what I mean. If you're not a subscriber, if you don't have a subscription. What I was trying to say was what the Ukrainians are doing right now. They are attacking, well, basically they are fighting a guerrilla war. And the way they're going at it right now, they're killing Russians. That's what I meant. A while, probably last week, I said they're going to come at the Russians in a different way. I don't remember exactly how I worded it. And when I read about it yesterday, that's what I meant. That right now, and it's really the way they call it, you know, like the Taliban, you know, the way we used to fight the Taliban, and they started fighting a guerrilla war. That's the normal thing that they, like, when you invade a country or something like that, that's what people do. But they said the way the Ukrainians are doing it right now, it's on steroid. And I'm not surprised, because at the time I knew the tactics they were going to be using, they learned it from us. You know, because you have to remember, we have some pretty creative people. And they learn from all those wars that we've fought, the different ways of fighting. So they've trained the Ukrainians on how to use those tactics. Given those skills to Ukrainians and the weapons that they are getting from us and the European Union and NATO, oh my God. I was reading an article, I believe it was in the New York Times, and it was on CNN this morning, how they ejected the Russians in a town, because they were, I'm very bad with geography, but I believe they said they were trying to approach Kiev from the east or something to that effect, okay? They had to cross a bridge and to a town, and before they can get there, oh my God, you guys. According to the article, they had about something like 45 trucks. They left 30 of them. Basically, if they had anything wrong with them, they could be fixed. But it seems like, according to the article, if I recall correctly, most of them were intact. But the point I'm trying to say is, this is what I did not want. Like I just said earlier, I said one day I will tell you. There was something I was talking about. I said at the right time I'll tell you. Well, that was the same thing for this as well, because I don't know who's watching me. So I'm very careful. There are certain things I don't want to say. Okay? But what I read yesterday, that's what I felt was coming. And I feel this tactic, I'm sure the Ukrainians are going to continue to use it. Like the guy said, the reporter said, on steroid. It's going to be, and that's why so many young Russians are going back home in body bags. They are not fighting the Ukrainians head to head anymore. Right now, it's a number of how many bodies. I mean, you know, there is conventional fighting as well going on. But the thing right now, when I focus on these people, it's body bags. That's all it is. As far as many as they possibly can. And I feel like saying, my prediction is it's having a major psychological effect on Putin. That's why he was talking all the talk that he was doing yesterday. He's losing, he's stuck, he has nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. So that's why he was behaving the way he was behaving yesterday, and expect worse to happen in Ukraine as well, unfortunately. I know they are working on a ceasefire and a peace I feel like saying Ukrainians cannot let go. Keep pressing. Yes, they will get peace, and Putin will be gone. But the Ukrainians will be successful. They're fighting. They are bringing the fight to the Russians in a complete different way. It bothers me when I see those little young faces. If I had kids, they could have been my kids. So it's going to be bad. Okay. Let's see. On our website, Crooks and Liars, March 16, 2022, Steve Bannon vowed to take down President Joe Biden on Wednesday as a federal judge was set to hear arguments in a case, the former Trump advisor. Bannon is going to jail, okay? So he's just talking. Like I said, him and the whole Trump team, they think they can threaten violence, we're going to overthrow. But Biden cannot figure out his way out of a paper bag, never mind overthrowing the American government. They tried, they failed. They had one chance. It didn't work. So they can forget it. Right now, I hope him and the Trump family are going to are visiting the tailors so they can have their orange suit, so they can fit the orange suits for them. I think I said that right. Then this is asking, I'm wondering if the weapons we showed to be sending is not the whole list. We're sending stuff that is not published. I'm sure you hear there are a lot of things that we are doing. We have some very smart people in government, and also we flood. We have, let me see how many, 3 TV stations, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox. Fox doesn't really care. They have their own agenda promoting the Putin's propagandas. But MSNBC and CNN need stuff to fill the air up with. It's crazy. They put a whole bunch of stuff just to fill up the air. The real stuff, we don't know about it. For example, what I just described, the tactics they've taught to the Ukrainians. Okay, you don't have to fight someone like the Russians. They are stronger. So you have to use different tactics. It's just like 2 boxers boxing. A guy is bigger than you, so you got to find a way. If you're fast on your feet, okay, he can be 250 pounds, and you're about 190, 200. You can knock him out if you have the proper techniques and you study how he moves. Yeah, it's the same thing with the Ukrainians versus the Russians. They have all the best equipment, and supposedly they were very strong, and they're proven to be, it's a paper tiger. And believe me, guys, it's not by chance. It's because the training we provided to the Ukrainians, the weapons that they have, and a lot of people are saying, well, some people were saying Ukraine should have fallen in the first couple of days. That too did not happen by chance. And there is a lot. After, in a couple of years after this is over, we will learn all the secrets, not only from, what we wanted to be known and what, I'm not going to go there, but I'll just say we are being flooded with things that they want us to know. And also, we're going to find out, hopefully, I will be validated by what's coming out because, okay, this morning I was I almost forgot to mention this, but since I'm talking about this. What I was getting was there is going to be a time, I feel it's a couple of years down the road, where people who are around Putin right now start talking and explaining everything and telling the story of everything that was unfolding during this time. Okay, so hopefully I will get some validation to some of the things that I have been saying. It will be very interesting 2 to 5 years from now when we get to read everything that took place behind the scenes. Yeah, a lot of stuff that we are hearing right now is just, I mean, they are real. We're not being lied to, but they can't afford to tell us everything. Let's put it that way. All right. I'll look for one more question, otherwise Joel Tilson says drones, Stinger rockets are destroying Russian tanks, helicopters, and jets. Oh, while you said helicopter, did you guys see yesterday how many helicopters were set on fire from a tarmac somewhere? I believe it's in Ukraine. Oh my God, that was bad. Okay, friends, thank you very much for spending time with me. I appreciate it. Thank you, chat managers, for your help. And if you would like a reading from me, the link to my website is below the video, psychicmilu.com, or you can send me an email, or there is a phone number that I posted at the beginning of my YouTube number. It's posted at the beginning of the video. I am working on something where I can post it in the middle of the video as well, or while I stream. You can call that number or send me an email at psychicmilu@aol.com. It's posted below the video as well. We can negotiate a time that's good for both of us to talk. If you like the channel, please subscribe and also tap on the bell in order for you to be notified when I'm online, when I post a video. Also tap the thumbs up button. That will help me as well. And it's important to YouTube. It helps them position, the videos. If it's more thumbs up, the higher you are. Thank you, friends. I will see you tomorrow. Till then, bye.